Alright, so we got our table set up for the first scenario in the book, called Out of the Fog. And this particular mission has two slightly competing goals. One is to escape off the opposite table edge. So to the right, we've got a Spanish frigate, and to the left, we have a pirate frigate. So the frigates are essentially, in the scenario, stumbling across each other on their way back to their home ports, low on provision, trying to get back. And this is just a chance encounter. You want to do damage, and you score 1 victory point for every point of damage you inflict on the opponent. But you can also score 4 victory points if you leave the opposite table edge without damage on your ship, and 2 victory points if you leave the opposite table edge with damage. The thing is, the scenario stops as soon as one of the two ships leaves the table. If for some reason neither ship can leave, for example, both strike their colors, or one strikes their colors and the other one loses all of its sails, then it's a draw. So it's very, very hard to make this one a draw. Alright, so according to the scenario, the wind is coming from the right of the camera, and we roll randomly to determine deployment. And so, again, following the weather gauge, the first ship that's going to activate will be the Spanish one, and then the frigate. Now, we're not going to use actual activation chits at all in this one, because there are only 2 ships. In the next scenario, we'll end up using them and to keep track of the multiple ships that will activate. So, with that, we'll get started with the very first turn. Both ships are starting at battle sails, and the game here is to try to figure out how you want to score your victory points. My ship will be activating first. I think I'm going to stay at battle sail. Yes, I'm going to stay at battle sail. Alright. Alright, so I am going to... You always start your move by moving your ship forward the rate of knots. And both frigates have a rate of knots of 5. That's the number on the sail. Now, again, as I mentioned in the other video, Warlord has you measure from the bow typically, but you can more easily at times measure from the line on that wake marker, which is the stern of your ship. So we're going to move forward 5, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. So I place this in the stern, and then I essentially just rock the ship until it's pointed in that direction. Okay. Then I can swing the wake marker around. I have nothing to fire at, and even off the front arc, there's nothing. When I place the front arc, I can line up on the yellow line. There's nothing in my arc. We'll show that more later in the game. But next one, I'm going to go ahead and continue that 5 forward with my second move. There it is. And let's take a quick look at the situation on the board. I could turn and potentially get an angle. I don't know if I'm in range though, but we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to turn and try to get an angle. Okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah. So, from here, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go ahead and make as fullest turn I can. Okay, and that's the end of my movement. And there's no way I can. I have no line on that ship. If I were to fire, if you look at and draw a line parallel from this 9 degrees from my ship, you can see it actually does line up with his ship, but it's only partial. And it's pretty far away. I think it's going to be over 20 inches. This is a 20-inch ruler, and sure enough, so no firing can happen. Alright, so, Dave, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go for this. Oh, this is going to be hard for me to see. Alright. Just go forward to, we're at battle
Battle sails, yes.
To there. I need the turn gauge, please.
You bet.
And it's from the back, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're trying to weave it this way. And then we will just move again. Battle sails to there. And we're going to stay like that. We're not going to turn.
Oh, okay. All right. So at this point, this is the way the table looks. Now, Dave is pointing at his table edge. I am not. So he will be likely to get off the table first unless I can do something to really hold him up. He may be the one that ends the scenario.
You act like that's my plan.
No, yeah. I don't know if it is, but yeah, that's just the way the scenario plays out. Honestly, I've never I played the scenario once before, and it's interesting because it's got some tactical decisions you got to make that I'm not used to making, like running away. Right?
Unless you're
Okay.
forced.
Yeah. Now, the next thing we got to do, because at the end of it's the start of the next turn, is we're going to roll 2 dice to see what the wind change is. All right. So we each roll a die and consult the table. Now we have both 2s, so that's a 4. 4 through 10 is no change. A 3 or a 2 would be a change, and a 11 or 12 would be a change. All right, so now on to the first angle I've got right now. I have to move forward with my first activation. You always move forward with the very first thing you do. So let's go ahead and do that. There's one good thing about the wake markers is they can stay put while your ship monkeys around.
Right.
So you know where to put the ship back. All right, so there's my first activation. Now let's take a look and see if I have any angle of attack. All right, right now it does not look like it. I'll need to turn, but if I do turn, that's going to bring me pretty close to the edge. So I'm going to have to actually be very careful how much I turn here. But I do want to take a shot at him, and I am within range. So I think I'm going to take my cannon shots. So I'm going to make a turn and try to set up for a shot. Now I have to turn so that with the next move I don't go off the table.
Now, are you allowed to pre-measure your second move like you just did?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, yeah. But I'm lining this up so that my entire broadside is hitting you. Okay. So that's how much I have to do. I was just illustrating also that how far I'd have to, or how far would have to move in my next move. Okay, so I'm taking my shot. Did I line the? Yeah. Okay, it is. It's just optical illusion. All right. So there's the shot. We are within 20 inches, but that's it. So I just have my 2 cannon that are going to fire. Okay. So there's the hit, or where the range. I am at long range. So starting the way it starts is I need 5s to hit, but because I'm at long range, I'm -2, so that puts it on 3 already. In addition to that, we're both regular, so there's no changes there. We're both medium ships, so there's no modifiers there. So essentially, it's just 3s to hit.
Nothing.
And there it is. Yep, I missed. Okay, so now I have to go on with my next move, or I should say finish my move. And this is where I'm going to need to be very careful, because I need to end up not going off the table edge. Alrighty. Because if I leave this table edge, it doesn't end the game. Okay, so there's 5. And now I have to turn again. I cannot fire this broadside, or that same broadside again, because I already fired this turn. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it parallel to the side of the edge of the ship. There we go. Okay. So that is my turn. Alright, so Dave, what are you going to do?
Stay at battle sails.
Okay.
Scoot up to here.
Okay.
I will say, these make it easier to move.
Yeah.
I need the turn gauge, sir.
There you go.
And we're just gonna turn. Like that. I should get you.
Nope, because
So if I go like, I don't want to go all the way though. We're gonna go like that.
okay.
That will be our first move.
Okay, and just as a point of reference, this is the angle. I'm facing perpendicular to the ship. You can see my ship is not in arc right now. Okay. Yeah, not yet. I know, there's still more to go.
Move to there.
Yep.
Now I should be.
Now you should easily be able to on this next turn.
No, I don't
Because
think-
right now you're
Oh, yeah,
still
I'm still.
behind me. You're shooting behind me.
Yeah, I think we're good with that. We're not actually. I want to turn. No, I don't want to turn. I like where I'm at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what to think about that. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to roll the dice again to see if we have a
I got one.
wind change.
Uh-oh.
And nope, it's a
No.
5. So no wind change. Alright, so again, weather gauge, I'm still the closest to this edge of the table. So I'll be going first. Boy. Do I want to go full? I may want to go full sail here. If I go full sail, I'm going to try it. I've never gone full sail before. But in the basic game, if the wind's coming directly behind you, you can go, or basically within the yellow arc. And, I am in this case. So, I can go to full sail. So, I hold the ship, pull this back, and now I'm full. Alright, so that means I'm going to have 5 moves. And I can turn at the end of the first 2. I can't turn at the third one.
Okay.
So we'll see if this is a bad idea. Okay, so here's the first one. Here's the 5. Right there. I am not able to fire. However, I can turn. And so I'm going to right here. Okay. And now I'm going to move 5 forward again. This is my second move. Okay. Alrighty. And now we're going to go one more. Hope this is enough. So I'm hoping to get a rake. And I do. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Alright, so this position was far enough to get me in front of his ship. So my broadside is going straight down the length of his ship. So I'm getting a front rake, so basically I'm going to do additional damage if I hit. So let's take a look at the calculations here. Okay,
You said you didn't want to do collisions. I'm going. Oh, you have one more move.
I have one more move. Oh, no, I don't. You're right. Oh, gosh, there may be a collision evasion going on. You're right. Okay. Well, we'll cover that in a bit. All right. I am within, we do this, from my hull to his hull, within 5 inches. Okay. So I'm in short range, which is less than 10. I'm not at point blank range, which is 3 inches. So again, we have 5. Now here's the thing, though. There's no penalty for size or for distance. However, the shooting vessel and me, I am at full sail, so I'm still at -2. So I'm back down to 3. But because I'm at such close range, I have not only my heavy cannon, but my light and my carronade. So I do have 4 shots coming your way.
Yay.
Yeah, but again, I'm only hitting on 3s. Okay, so let's take a look at the shot. Alright, 3s to hit. Okay. Oh, not good. Okay. All right. Essentially, we have a carronade missed. One of the heavy cannons missed. I have a light cannon hit, and I have a heavy cannon hit. Now, the heavy cannon hit also is a critical. So let's walk through the damage. All right. The light cannon does 1 hull point, and the heavy cannon does 2. Now, because I was raking you, that actually does additional damage. Add 1 extra point for each, so there's 2 more points of damage. Since it's a bow rake. If I was coming at the stern, I'd actually double the damage. Yeah. Okay, now, the crit. Since we're just assuming hull, we're not going to aim high or anything like that. That's going to be in a future video. We have one of these crit tables. We roll a d6 and apply the proper damage. So, it's a 4. That's a crew hit. So crew essentially means until the end of your next activation, your ship will automatically fail all skill tests it performs. Oh, figures, this is bad timing. Okay, yeah, I was not planning on doing evasions or anything, or collisions, but we're going to actually run into one, I think. Alright, so that's the damage I've done. There's no extra damage as a result. So it's just, what, 6 points of damage or 5 points of damage?
5 points.
Yeah. Alright, not a bad result, but not a good one either compared to what could have happened with the rake. Alright, since that was my third move at full sail, I cannot turn again. Yeah, so I'm stuck in that position. So now you activate, and he has the crew hit marker next to it. So his first move is going to be moving forward 5 inches.
Can I immediately drop anchor?
You cannot drop anchor because you can only change 1 level of sail. So you can go down to light if you want. I don't know where that'll end you, but yes, you can change it. Either stay at battle or go down to light, and you can end up at anchor the next turn. Like, for example, next turn I have to go full or battle sails. I can't change down to light sails.
Oh.
Alright, so here's what we figured out. Now, if the hull of the ship makes contact with the other hull, that's a collision. And it happens whenever the movement brings you into contact. Now, we measured this out, and if he were to place his stern at the 5 where it's supposed to be, his bow is going to be just short of my bow. So now you don't consider any of the bowsprits or any of the rigging, any of the sails or the masts or anything. So what's going to happen? We don't actually have a collision at this point. That'll allow you to actually turn. So to make things easier for you, I'm going to remove my ship off of this, so you can move and then you can turn, so that you can evade. Now, obviously, don't turn. You can't turn into me because that's
You're going
to have to go that way. And if you leave this, we leave the side of the tables. We'll explain how that comes back.
I'm gonna have to leave the side of the
You
table.
might. Well, remember, you'll be able to turn again. Okay, my ship was here, so you're going to sail past me at this point. So you don't need to turn any more than that. If you
I'm
don't
gonna
want to.
shoot you.
Oh yes, you can. You absolutely can. Yep. Okay, now since entanglement is something that is an additional rule,
I forgot about that.
or I should say an advanced rule, we don't have to worry about entangling right now. Okay, so you are within 3. I mean, it's our rigging, our masts are really close, so I'm just going to back this up slightly. Here, however, this is very interesting. I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see. Okay, so this is actually a very good position to be in. Now, you're not quite raking me because you're not in front of me yet. You're actually just to the left of just the port of my bow. Now, if we line up the center of his broadside, which is right about there, and we do it perpendicular to fight, you can see that the stern half of his broadside does not cut across my bow or my hull at all. So only the front cuts. So this is a situation where you're only getting a partial broadside on me.
Okay.
So you're going to be at -2 to hit. However, you have a lot of pluses. Okay, you are starting at. You're not a full sail. You're a battle sail. So right here, we start at 5. You're at point blank, which is less than 3 inches. So you're +2. That means you're at 7
Okay.
to hit. Now, my target moved more than 10 inches last move. I did 15, right?
Yeah.
So you're -1. So you're down to 6. Again, there's no problem for that. Since you're... Wow. Yeah, so now since you're partially skirted, 6 minus 2 is 4. So do that right. It started at 5,
There you go.
+2 for point blank,
7.
-1 for me moving so fast, and then -2 for being partially
Yeah.
obscured. Yeah, so we're basically at 4 or less. But you are firing all of your guns as well. So let's go ahead and shoot that.
Dice.
All 4 dice. All right, so the crew hit does not affect shooting, but you're hitting me on 4s with all these. And since you are at such short range, you're going to do double damage.
I gotta hit you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you did. Oh no, that's not good for me. Okay. Fortunately, there's no critical hits. The light cannon missed and one of the heavies missed. However, 3 damage done by the carronade, 2 damage done by the heavy cannon. We're at super short point blank range, so it doubles to 10. You've done 10 damage to me.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what I say. Okay. All right, very good. All right, now you can continue. Now move my ship so that it's not in the way. Now again, you're going to move 5, and then you can turn again, and you won't need to have that crew hit anymore because you're going to be done. Okay. Yep.
Gonna turn like so.
Yep. Oh man. Okay, you are lined up. Oh yeah, you'll be able to leave the table next turn. Yeah, you may have.
Unless you destroy me.
Well, we're gonna have to see. Okay. Wow. Okay, that was a good round of shooting. All right, no, the crew hit goes away because that was only at the end of your activation.
Oh, okay.
It goes away. So it looks like we're at the end of the turn. It is now time to do the weight. All right. Let's see. That's a 4 and a 5. That's 9. No change. All right, so I'm still weather gauge because I'm still upwind of you. This is a strange situation because I could rake your stern. I'm definitely going to go to battle sails. I do not want to go full. Okay. But see, I don't know if
Then you'll leave the table.
I will leave the table, but when a ship leaves the table, I basically lose a turn. You get basically a free round of a free turn here, as my ship is turning around to come back on the table. All right, so let's see what I do. We're going to have to go forward 5. I have no choice in the matter there. So that's the first thing I do. Oops. Oh, wow. Okay, that's not going to be a stern rake. But I am going to turn and get the biggest broadside on you I can. Okay, I have to be careful. That stays put, and I do this. Ooh, wait a sec. No. Yes, I think I do have it. A rake. I think I have a stern rake.
You're up too far.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, you're right, yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So. Wow, okay, so now I'm still within 3 inches. Now, the way you kind of determine if you're doing a stern rake based on what's in the FAQ, not the FAQs, but like on the forums, some of the pictures I've seen, is you actually want your line of fire needs to enter by the stern and leave by the bow. Okay. So it's a very narrow window, but it can be done. So let's go ahead and set the camera up so we can kind of watch how this plays out. We are lined up, looking down the stern of your ship to the bow. Now, my angle of fire is coming across this way. So yeah, I'm hitting your stern just perfectly, but you can see it exits out the side of your hull. It doesn't exit out the bow. So that means I don't have a stern rake on you, but I still do double damage because I'm within 3 inches. Okay, let's get on to rolling. So this is my chance to get those dice back. So I have all 4 cannons are firing. I'm within 3 inches, so that gives me +2. So I'm now at 7. At 7 to hit. Now, I don't have. I'm not going to full sails anymore. There's no partial obscurance because both halves of my broadside are able to hit your, see your hull. So I'm at 7s.
Oof.
Oh yeah, because it's 5 plus the point blank, which is 2 plus 2. Yep. So I need 7s or less. Oh wow! Everything but thankfully the carronade. Okay, but that is 2, 4, 5 points. Doubled is 10. So I just dished out 10 more to you. Okay.
Fine.
No critical hits though. Okay, so now I have to finish my second move, and that second move is going to take me right off the table. So, I mean, my stern of the ship is right off there. So what we do is you mark the point, the center point, where your ship left the table, and that is where the ship will arrive, not the next turn, but the turn after that. Okay, so the way the rules states here is the game ends when one ship leaves the playing area. So technically, according to the scenario, the game ends here, and I've done 15 damage, and I've only taken 10. So I actually get the victory point 15 to 10. However, I want to continue the scenario. So go ahead and finish your turn here. You're going to have to do battle sails.
Sure. Staying around.
Or you can go light sails, actually.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So I think you're going to leave the table, too.
Yeah. Then I turn just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, and that would pull you off.
Straight ahead.
Yep.
And
then you would...
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that would be off the table. Okay. Now, I would personally like the scenario to run. It ends that turn instead of ends immediately when the ship leaves. So that would have scored you 2 additional points. You still would have lost 15 to 12 because you got 2 points for leaving damaged, whereas I did not leave off my target table edge. But that's the way it goes. Okay, but the game has ended with a Spanish delivering 15 victory points and the Pirates only delivering 10. But his ship is not sunk. All right, so that was our first naval exercise to kind of illustrate the basic principles of how you move and shoot. Now this is only your second game playing, or third
Third or
third?
fourth.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's been a long time.
fourth, because I did that demo at the library.
Yeah, it was over a year ago. Well over a year ago.
No,
it was about a year ago.
It was about a year ago.
Yeah, about this time. Okay, so anyway, so what are thoughts or things you've noticed in this?
That I noticed in general about the game? Or
And
about
specifically about these moving and shooting aspects and things that
it's
you might want to comment on.
one of the things that, because I talked to you about the Kings of War Armada. It's the fantasy version of this. It's coming out December, I think, maybe. Depending on how things are.
Yeah, we'll hope to do learning scenarios for that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that they did, the thing that I like the game, and now that I understand it more, the one thing I wish they did that they're talking about doing on those is firing arcs on, because those boats are going to be on bases, firing arcs so you know, because I can see...
Pre-printed on the bases, right?
Or like you can mark them if they're on the ship, because I can see people getting in heated argument, should we say, about...
Yeah, I'm
You're in my arc. No, I'm not.
I'm sure of that, yes.
The scenario is worded weird. Because, I mean, thinking of, like, normal scenarios like this, okay, I have to get off that table edge. You have to get off my table edge.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nope, just leave. I'm like, okay, so why wouldn't I just turn my boat, like, go, turn, and just take the wind and go that way?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, you have to get off your table edge, the opposite table edge.
You didn't?
No, I don't. No, that's to score points. To score additional points.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
But that is one thing. It shouldn't stop.
No.
Unless you get off your table, your assigned table edge, which would still preclude me from I still would have won because you would have left the table, and I wouldn't have been able to come on. You wouldn't have gotten any extra damage on me. So
Yeah.
even regardless, it still ended up with dealing out more damage. But that was because I had one extra shot coming in. So you shot once, I shot twice,
Yeah.
and did get lucky with
Correct.
Well, that didn't really hurt you much.
Well,
that was
that's
just the
true.
crew. Where I got lucky was the fact that I had the bow rake and was able to add 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
So that gave me 5 points. Had it not done that, I would only scored 13. And then had you, now I still would have got 1 by 1 because you
Yeah.
got 2 extra points leaving the table. Yeah. So it's a good introduction. In an introductory scenario, it helps you understand how to move the ship and fire without being really involved in tactics.
Before you turned and went towards and took the wind with you, my plan was to head that way. That way I could be going first. And then if
Yes.
you turn it, I was like, all right, fine, I'll just meet you over there.
Yep. Well, I wanted to kind of intercept you so you didn't leave the table
I wasn't-
without me doing damage.
I wasn't planning on leaving the table.
Oh, were you? Okay.
No, I was like, I figured I could cut you off and do enough damage. And
You-
if you hurt me enough, I
could've.
could just take off.
Yeah. Oh, you could have. Yeah, definitely. It is set up in such a way where you could play that game either way. And yeah, you're right. I did decide to take advantage of the full sails and beeline. I wanted to get in front of you to, number one, slow you down. If possible, I got lucky to actually get a rake. I didn't think that was possible. I was honestly thinking I was going to have to turn a little bit before my final move on that full
to
sail
get the rake.
to shoot you
Oh.
and then go forward. But no, I was just at the right spot where I could go forward and still catch you in my guns. So I got really lucky in that sense.
And I will say this, and I know this will come up later, but it is weird playing on a table with no terrain at all.
Yes, it is weird.
It is very weird.
When we get further in our series, we're going to actually introduce some of the terrain, and it does make things a little more complicated. But even with that terrain, you're shooting through pretty open
Well,
space.
yeah.
You know,
No, I kind of like that.
So it is kind of nice. Yep.
Yes. Makes
All right.
cleanup easier.
So yeah, that's true. It does. So thanks for the game. I hope this game had illustrated the concepts we talked about in our last lesson video. And stay tuned for the next video. We're actually going to talk about how do you really handle collisions and evading collisions, where we're actually going to try to actually stumble upon and force these issues. We're also going to talk about grappling and boarding. To actually get
I haven't
into
done that.
Nope, not yet. But the second scenario in the book is about that.
Goody.
It's 3 pirate brigs going after a merchant ship with a frigate escort. So they're gonna, and you want to board them to get loot off the ship. So
Makes sense.
yep. So perfect
Cool.
opportunity to learn how to do the grappling and do other boarding parties and all that kind of good stuff. So stay tuned for that set of videos. The lesson video followed by naval exercise, and then stay tuned. All right, catch you guys later.
See ya.
Bye bye.